Hello everyone, and this is your video about twin flame ascension symptoms. I'm Debiria from Debiria's Naturals and Cases of Evolutionary Empowerment, and what I did was I channeled some ascension symptoms or some symptoms that I experienced during my twin flame journey, and some symptoms that my clients also expressed to me that they were experiencing through the past 4 years of twin flame journey that I have walked with them on. And I noticed some similarities, and so I put them down and I just started to write down what those things were, and then I looked up a list after that to see if anyone had put any information that sounded similar to this on the internet, and I did find more information to confirm where me and my collective have been experiencing. So I'm going to share with you first the list of symptoms that we experience, and then I'm going to cross-reference that. First of all, twin flames. I have a message from your divine masculine, or I'm just feeling like this energy. I don't know if this is your energy, divine feminine, or divine masculine's energy. I have to tap into it and figure out. But there's this song and it keeps playing in my head, and it's saying, though my love is rare and though my love is true, I'm like a bird, I'll only fly away. I don't know where my soul is, I don't know where my home is. And this is Nelly Furtado. So I'm going to go and then I'm going to explain to you the twin flame ascension symptoms, but I'm also going to have to dig into this energy of who is this coming from. You know, is this your energy, divine feminine, saying that you're going to fly away? Is this divine masculine's energy saying that he's going to fly away? Or are you both flying away? Are you flying away from situation, circumstances? It's just like it just triggered a lot of questions. And then I looked up the lyrics to the song, and I was like, well, this song doesn't sound favorable at all. But you know, again, I had not delved into the energies. I'm just sharing it with you because maybe that song means something to someone. Maybe that's a song you and your masculine that you think of when you're listening to. You think of your masculine when you think of the song. Anyway, this is the last day of Mercury retrograde. Thank goodness. Maybe the communication will get better. Maybe the stuttering that I do will get better. But it doesn't matter if it does or it doesn't. The information comes out so long as you get it. Thank you. Yeah. Okay, so I'm just going to put my energetic head covering on. So that I can channel these energies for you. So, twin flame ascension symptoms that I have experienced have been in my collective. Feeling tired, fatigued, exhausted, needing unusually frequent naps. So I know divine feminines have been experiencing this quite a bit. Feeling an expansion, a pressure around the upper cranium, the center of the forehead. Like I've had people tell me that they experience this feeling that their head feels like a balloon. It feels like, I say it feels like a giant eyeball, because you feel like this consciousness. It feels like, you guys, energetically, I know I can be graphic, like someone just peeled open the illusion around my head, and now it's this big giant eyeball that can see everything. Or there's an expansion, like you realize that your consciousness is expanding, and that you're infinite, and that knowledge is infinite, and that you could never hold all of it, you could never know all of it, but you know what you need to know when you need to know it. So there's a knowingness that is coming because there's an increase in cognitive function. And I'm sure if we could somehow get some kind of scanner that would show you how your brain is lighting up at this time, that you would see some magnificent shifts and changes from the norm in certain people who are experiencing these ascensions. That's if it's all energy, you guys, it will be translated and shown. I'm seeing it in my mind's eye that it will be shown as light. So I feel like there's an enlightenment, but there's becoming enlightened or lighter, or inner light. I'm seeing it like your brain, your head is glowing. I'm seeing a halo. I'm actually hearing Beyonce's song, Halo, I can see your halo, halo. So you have a halo. So I feel like your antenna. Dang, I'm trying to tell y'all the symptoms, but now I'm channeling the message for you. Be very mindful of your hair. Be very mindful of your natural hair. That is your antenna. And make sure you keep it clean. keep your hair clean, clean your antenna, so that the frequencies and the energies that you are receiving are clear. Okay. Whew. Okay. So there has been some feelings of nausea at interactions of certain people. So you may feel an aversion to people or places or foods. You may experience nausea when you go to certain places because the energy there may be too dense, and you have a lighter energy, a higher vibrational energy, or you're in transition and you're very sensitive, and the energies are making you feel nauseous. You will also have increased senses. Your senses will be increased or enhanced. Your sight, your olfactory sense, your sense of smell. You will notice that certain things just smell freaking disgusting to you. Certain people, certain odors, certain perfumes would just smell disgusting to you because there's an energy attached to them that does not resonate with you, and you'll be like, oh, what is that? And it may be to everyone else that person smells normal, but they don't smell normal to you. To everybody else, that food smells normal, but it doesn't smell normal to you because it's not a vibrational match for you anymore, because you have shifted to another frequency. So the things that used to be on that level that you used to be able to tolerate, that you maybe used to even enjoy, you no longer can tolerate, nor do you enjoy. Also, I have seen I have experienced and have experienced when there is disruption and a shift in the energy between the twins, and there's a big gap in between them energetically, even though they're on the same frequency and they're on the same resonance and they're twins and they share a soul and blah blah blah. There are events and circumstances that can impose on that energy or try to affect that energy outside. One of those symptoms had been nausea, and the twin that is separated from his or her counterpart has experienced a physical sickness where they have been literally sick in their physical body. It had manifested in that manner. But they, of course, this was part of the synchronization process where certain things had to be detoxed. So while I noticed that while a masculine might have been going through an extremely traumatizing experience physically that may have stressed him out physically, 3:23 on the clock right now. You might want to check that number out, write it down. Then the feminine might have been going through something extremely testing spiritually. While one of them may be experiencing a spiritual symptom, the other one experiencing a spiritual symptom, the other one is experiencing a physical symptom, and vice versa. So while this person might have been I won't give specific examples. I'll just leave it at that for right now. But there are specific examples that I can give, but we're going to continue with this list right now. But anyway, it's saying often those carrying an energy, okay, so having this feeling nausea at interactions at certain people or places is often those carrying an energy that does not resonate with you anymore. So you have the feelings of food aversions, like I said, people, locations. There could even be, because there are ley lines in the earth, you guys. There are energetic points in the earth that are stronger than others, whether negative or positive. Certain times you may go into these certain places and you feel fully charged, and you feel a shift inside yourself where you may be on an energetic ley line, you may be underneath your feet, may be certain crystals that you resonate with in the ground or in the structure of the building. There may be created like a building that's created with marble, that is a stone that has a vibrational frequency. So it's, you know, if you go into a marble building, you may have a different energetic feeling than you may if you go into a building that is made of that has other types of metals and stuff in it, and may have had been built on the grounds that had energy. Let me just trying to come up with a politically correct way of saying it. Let's just say you go into a building that was built on top of a burial ground, Indian burial ground. You don't know it was built on top of Indian burial ground, but you have a different energy when you enter that building than if you enter a building that was buried rather than on top of a holy place, was buried, was built on top of a place where multiple people were massacred. mascara. So anyway, you're beginning to become more intuitive and feeling those energies, and you may not understand why, but if you was to pay attention to where you felt that feeling at, and you maybe investigate it and say, okay, well, what's the history of this building, then you may find out something about yourself in learning about that building and relating it to the feelings that you are having, because part of the ascension process is becoming more in tune with yourself, being in tune with your intuition, being in tune with your feelings, your emotions, and knowing that they are telling you something and that they are fully valid. This is also about balancing the divine masculine and divine feminine energies, which is the logical, rational, intuitive being balanced with the logical, rational mind being balanced with the intuitive, emotional. So logical, rational, intuitive, emotional being balanced and utilized as and acknowledged as all important in our evolution and our growth process and utilization of our full capacity ability. Okay, so having a strong desire to hermit, be in solitude, no longer feeling a desire to be a part of the group or crowd or group think, the trend, or in the company of other people, other than yourself. So you may begin to, in these ascension symptoms, maybe that you don't want to be around people. You kind of want to just chill and be around yourself and be around your own energy, or be around people who have a similar energy to you. And everybody feels that way. No, there's a whole different level to this. You don't want to go to Walmart because people are there. You don't want to walk outside because people are there, because your intuition, your emotions, and your empathy are heightened, so you can feel these people's feelings, you can feel these people's thoughts, energies, and you bump into their energy fields, and you can feel it sometimes like someone literally pushed you. When someone has a very bullying energy, they may not have said anything to you, they may not have done anything to you, but when they walk past you, you feel it like, woof, what's that? Some symptoms also experience would be a deep sense of peace when in one's own company. So you no longer you begin to become at peace with yourself and at peace with the most people have an issue with being alone. I gotta have somebody around me. I want to spend time with somebody. I want to go somewhere with somebody. I want to spend my life with someone. But then you realize that I'm just whole and I'm fine right here being me. And it's that experience that brings a peace. It's that realization. It's that self-acceptance and self-love that brings a peace. Feeling a detachment from any cycles that you have been in, whether they are known or unknown to you. And it's also feeling a detachment from anything that may have been otherwise potentially used to control you. So if you were always concerned about your livelihood, whether or not your family was secure, and so you were concerned about this job, but this job was very stressful, there's a detachment that's taking place where you feel like, look, I'm whole, and the skills that I have here, I take with me when I leave here. So this is what you begin to realize, that what you bring to the table is valuable, and what you have been in the past, you have been allowing someone else's opinion of you to determine your self-worth and your self-value, and that dissipates. You stop doing that, and you start detaching from, I have to be at this job in order to survive, when there's limitless possibilities, and the skills that you have here, you may not even be fully able to realize or be able to utilize or to implement in this particular place, because there's no growth and development. There's no room for growth. There's no allowance for growth. And you can take these same skills and knowledge and customer service abilities and that beautiful personality and that beautiful smile. You can take that someplace else where it'll be more appreciated, and you're detached from feeling like, I have to stay here because I've been here all this time, or I have to do this because of XYZ ABC. And and I said it backwards, but maybe because that's backwards ass thinking, and you start thinking, on your own. Detachment from certain media, and that will be social media, television, radio podcast. You may, no, I don't want to listen to that anymore. You may even have an aversion to tarot. If you're someone who likes to watch tarot to, get the spiritual tea, to get the cosmic news, you may have an aversion from that, because during a spiritual journey, I'm just gonna be real with you. You might feel an aversion to spying on your twin. You don't give a damn what's going on over there. You're not looking over there anymore. You're not looking over there in the physical realm. You're not looking over there in the spiritual realm anymore. You have focus on yourself. And I was driving into town the other day, into the city, and there was a car in front of me, and it just stopped, and I just sat there at the light, just staring at the car, looking at the numbers on the tag. And if I'm looking at numbers, then Spirit just communicated with me, because I communicate with Spirit through numbers and vice versa. And then I saw the name of the car. The car was a Ford, but it was a Ford Focus. So, but all I saw on the back of the car was Focus, Fuel, and Flex, or Focus, Flex, and Fuel. I can't remember what order it was in, but Spirit spoke to me right there. You need to focus so you can get the fuel so you can flex. You gotta focus on yourself, recharge yourself, so that you can invest in yourself and use that energy to making this output that's going to be flexing. That's going to be your accomplishments. That's where your biggest achievements are coming from. You got to invest in you. So focus, fuel, and then flex. And I was like, I got it. I like it. I can go into like deeper with that, but y'all take it where y'all want to take it. I took it where I had to take it, where I needed it. So you have a version. If you're in a twin flame journey, you're no longer spying on your twin. You're no longer trying to see, okay, what's going on with divine masculine? Is he learning his lesson? Is he doing whatever? Or la 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 blah blah blah. Yes, I am twisting my hair on camera. Who cares? I don't want it to come apart. I might forget to do it when I get off. Anyway, so you're no longer focused on those things. You're allowing things to just be. Like, you get into a place where you just allow things to just be. Okay. Let's see. Detachment from expectations. Okay, so this is twin flame ascension. So you have a detachment from expectations on your twin flame journey. Expectations are about your twin, expectations about how this journey is going to go, expectations about how it should go, what a relationship looks like, because actually twin flames, we are the trailblazers. We are rewriting how relationships are. We are rewriting the dynamic of how humans relate to each other. We're rewriting what it means to love and be loved. We're rewriting those things, because this is a time when there needs to be a shift and a change in the family dynamic and the emotional maturity of everyone. That there needs to be growth in that area that may not have been so in the past. And then that's Spirit saying, I'm seeing life as many reasons to be thankful. So thank you. 334, y'all might want to look at the number 334, angel number. Okay, so detachments from expectations on a twin flame journey, even those of romantic partnership with your twin. So this expectation that a romantic partnership is that's what you're supposed to have with your twin, detaching from that notion is also a part of the ascension process. And like, what do you mean? Like, what you talking about, Otis? What you talking about, Willis? Ain't nobody come to see you, Otis. I feel like there might be some resistance to me saying that, because it's like, oh, that sounds like you're giving up on your journey. No, you're not giving up on your journey. This is a part of the journey. A part of the ascension process is detachment. And detachment from expectations does include those expectations as well, because it's taking your hands out of the micromanagement position. You don't have to micromanage everything. You don't have to micromanage anything. You can't. So it's like a radical acceptance. And maybe that's where this song is coming from, accepting that this person, you can't chase yourself, you guys. You can't chase yourself. You'll never catch you. Just be yourself. And then what you just allow will be. You get what I'm saying? No, you don't. With your twin flame connection, your twin and you share a soul. You're essentially one. So you can't chase something that's just chase the runner chaser. That's a perception. It's perceived as running chasing. That person never left. You never left. The love never left. Now the expectation was centered around the perception. The perception was that, oh, this person is not in my physical is not in my physical presence, so they must not be here. But we're infinite, and you are one. So wherever you are, they are. Wherever they are, you are. Even the Most High said, where I am, there you will be also. Remember, who was it? It was Yahushua, Jesus, when he was down on the cross and he was telling them, I'll see you in paradise. Where is it? It's I'm gonna go ahead and look it up, y'all. But I just heard in my spirit, where I am, there you will be also. Okay, so that's in John 14 in the King James Bible, 14 verse 3. It says, and I go and prepare a place for you. I will come again, and if I go and prepare a place for you, I will come again and receive you unto myself, that where I am, there you may be also. So you guys, thank you, Ruach Kadesh, Holy Spirit. When you having these collisions, physical collisions with your twin, you may even have a spiritual one well, you're gonna have a spiritual one anyway, where you might have it meet in the dream realm, and then you go your separate ways. Separation is a perception of illusion, but it is an illusion. So, but I'm using it because these are words that we understand right now, until we understand there is no such thing as separation. But you're on your individual journey, path, mission, assignment. He's on his individual, or she, whomever. One, she, I ain't doing all this shit with y'all today. One twin over here doing that shit, other twin over there doing that shit. And every time, understand that if I go, every time I'm no longer in your physical presence, I'm preparing a place for you. I'm preparing space in my heart. I'm healing. I'm preparing space in my physical life. I'm preparing space in my mental life. I'm clearing out clutter. I will come again. You always come back together. And it said, I receive you unto myself. I'm linking back up to you, and I'm realizing you are me. I am you. We are one. You are bone of my bone, flesh of my flesh. Your heart and my heart beat together. We share a rhythm. We make the music, create the flow. No one can change it. I know what I know. Holding you close is what I love the most. Oh, you are my joy. There is no one else for me. Baby, I know. In the way that we flow. Oh, heaven's right here when I'm holding you close. So that's one of the Sacred Love Songs on T.D. Jakes' Sacred Love Songs album. But anyway, that came in my spirit. And so, it said that where I am, there ye may be also. But spiritually, you always together. If you're in a true twin flame connection, telepathically, you are always communicating with each other. That person's communicating with you through music. That person's communicating with you through number synchronicities. That person's communicating with you in your dreams. That person's communicating with you in your random thoughts that aren't random at all. You may ask a question and you know the answer. Your twin has said the answer in your spirit, and then they text you the answer, but you didn't ever ask them the question. They be like, I thought you asked me a question. Cause they hear you. You have, and once you realize that you share the same goals, you share the same journey, you share the same path, then you realize, hey, on my path, I had to realize that there were some people in my life that didn't mean me no good. And I learned that. Maybe I learned that before I met you. But maybe you only learned that once you met me. So we're we've done the same thing. We're mirroring each other. It's just a different timeline that I'm going through it on. But if you have an age gap or age difference between you and your twin, then you experienced this in your 20s, and you met your twin, you in your 40s, and your twin is in their 20s. Then they're going through what you were going through in your 20s, and so you're watching yourself, and so now you understand that past, present, and future exist at the same time, simultaneously. And then you got into a place spiritually where you're starting to realize that that you just bumped into yourself in an alternative dimension or reality or perception. Your perception can shift so drastically with me and your twin. And these ascension symptoms, they take place because they're preparing you to be in a place spiritually where the Most High is also. Where I am, there you may be also. I will receive you unto myself. There's levels to this shit. This is me telling you spiritually, telling you physically what takes place with you and your twin flame when you have these separations and these reunions and these encounters with each other in the physical dimension that also mirror your spiritual growth and your encounters with the divine in the spiritual dimension and the astral plane, but also your consciousness as it expands and you realize that all is one. And there is no such thing as separation. So, let's see. So, this attachment of expectations, even those of a romantic partnership with your twin, realizing that you're on the same journey, that this may not necessarily be a romantic journey. This is not like a regular soulmate journey. This is a journey of, this technically it is a soul mate journey. You are with your own soul as the mate on this journey. It is the journey mating you to your own soul, not in the perception or the words of the understood term of soulmate, but breaking down the individual words and the etymology of words and realizing that there's so much more to this than meets the eye. Why won't she ever go into it? Because she is tired. And she got more to say than to dwell on just that one particular one. So I'm going to move on. And if you have a question about it, please ask me and I can go down a rabbit hole with you individually. But collectively, it's so many different ways and different paths and different specifications that I can't dwell on it. I could never fit it in a video. And if I had 10,000 tongues, I still couldn't tell you. I get dehydrated and all of them trying to still go through all those avenues. There's a desire to learn or study or enhance your craft or to go into a new craft. It actually isn't a new craft. It's actually something that was always in you all along, but you have a newfound passion for it. It says esoteric. It could be esoteric knowledge, self-empowerment or self-development, home development, home security and home stabilization, family security. It's a large shift in the living space, in your friendships, in your work environments, in your workspace, in your employment, in your I've known this man where I was watching. I followed him, and he was like his story. I followed his story, didn't follow him. I followed his story, and he was a doctor, and he was making all this money. And then people like, well, what did you do? Somebody asked him, what did you really want to do your whole life? And he was like, I just wanted to rollerblade. It was like, but you're a doctor. And he was like, yeah, I am a doctor. You're brilliant. Yeah, I am. What do you want to do? I want to rollerblade, and I like rollerblading backwards. So he just quit everything and moved to a beach and rollerblades backwards down the sidewalk. And he's happy as hell, and his life is fulfilled. And he said he's never been happier in his life than when he put on those rollerblades and he rollerblades forwards and backwards. He said it feels like he's flying, and he has never been happier in his life. And as he's rollerblading and he's happy, you know what he does? That happy energy affects the people around him. They see him and they see how happy and youthful and vibrant. And he's older, perception, but it has this childlike energy, and he's so loving and caring, and the people love to see him rollerblading, and they love to see, have conversation with him as he roll by, little quick chit chats as he's skating around them in circles, and he's exuding this brilliant love light energy, and he's just doing what his passion is. enlightenment looks different for all of us. It's remembering your passions and having vivid past life dreams or visions. And so you may experience like a resurgence of something that you really love to do. For an example of that right there that I just said, awakening to a multi-dimensional existence, realizing that like I was just saying, past, present, future take place all at the same time, but also that there are different versions of reality, and not just different versions of reality the way we've been taught to, or in our introduction into alternate I was going to say alternate states of consciousness is actually the same thing as multiple dimensional existence. Altered states of consciousness, and that's within self, but there's also altered states of consciousness in individuals who we connect with, who are all extensions of God energy, source energy, which we all are, which makes us back one. But you over there, sadly, your perceptions, your experiences, your life, your background, your religion, all of that is a unique interpretation of the one truth that exists in us all. But it's a different reality, because I can't live your reality, you can't live mine. We can only share our experiences with each other, but we can only experience each other's reality through our own perception, until we understand that we're all one and none of that even matters. There is no separation. It's a constant need to ground yourself and to spend and express yourself in nature. This is another symptom. Heightened intuition and spiritual abilities. So I did discuss that earlier in part. In spiritual ability or spiritual enhancement or spiritual ability enhancements, where you may have also always been a dreamer. You may not have been a dreamer who could control your dreams, but now you can control your dreams, as you were saying. You may have always been someone who was kind of intuitive, but now you can read someone their whole life you never met before. You may have always been someone who was putting band-aids on boo-boos, but now you can lay hands on people and heal them of diseases that they've had for years. I put that in parentheses, new superpowers. Enhanced or intense emotions that occur randomly, like you may spontaneously begin to cry. These are ascension symptoms. You may experience bouts of anger and frustration, or just random spurts of emotion. But this is happening because you're recalibrating. Your body is recalibrating. It's also releasing, and it's also adjusting. It is also saying, listen to your feelings. Your feelings are telling you the truth. Your feelings are telling you what's going on. And I know we've been raised in a society where we've been told, get out your feelings. Them just your feelings. Don't nobody give a fuck about your feelings. Your feelings are as real as this fist. Because if I hit you with it, you're going to feel it. And the desire to hit you with this, I feel it. But there is ways to express it that don't cause physical pain to you or the person that you may be experiencing these feelings towards, about, because of whatever, depending on how you interpret your emotions. However, my point is, you experience these surges because they're allowing you to know, hey, something's going on over here. I have an emotional outburst of crying. What does that mean? Listen to your feelings. Why am I having an emotional outburst of crying? Am I releasing something? What was I holding on to? What did I feel triggered this? If it was random, then it was not random. There's something there. Listen to your feelings. This strengthens your intuition. This tells your subconscious mind, I'm listening to you. And so it shares more information with the conscious mind. Subconscious mind is always taking care of you and protecting you without you knowing about it. And that's why it's the subconscious mind. But once you seek to understand self, then the subconscious mind will begin to share its secrets with you consciously. And there's so many secrets. So many things you don't remember about yourself. And I'm not just talking about this dimension or this world or this lifetime. And maybe I am. Depends on how deep your remembrance is? How many times have you reincarnated, or have you only incarnated once? And you just don't remember that you've been living infinitely because you've been locked in a matrix where they make you believe that you're on a time loop and you're really living the same day over and over again, when you could break out of that and you didn't know that because you didn't know what was happening. I'm not telling you what to think, just inviting you to think. You have heightened senses, intensified or more powerful senses. Your sensory overload may be an experience you have, feeling overwhelmed, photosensitivity or headaches, feeling like lights are causing you to have headaches. You might have body pains that makes you sensitive to touch. Your hearing or your sight, your hearing, you may hear ringing in your ears. Your smell may be more powerful. You can now not only smell people, but you can smell energy. You can smell entities. You can smell demonic energies within the people or around the people or in the area or in the surrounding area. There are certain places that I drive through, like a city, and I can smell the energy of the city, and I'll be like, I'm not going to stay here long. I'm just going to pass through, You might experience energetic imbalances where one day you may wake up and feel like, oh, I'm full of energy, I could take on the world. And the next day you feel like, I don't feel like peopling today. I don't feel like humaning today. I don't feel like nothing. I just want to lay in my bed. You turn to Eeyore. Nothing really matters. I'll just go back in my house, And this is your body adapting to your new spiritual reality when this takes place. It's adapting to your new your new spiritual reality. Because you're having a full transformation on the inside. It's manifesting a physical representation of that shift external. So I'm going to just stop this here, and I'm going to make a part 2 of the twin flame ascension symptoms, and I'm going to cross this here. And if you guys have any questions or anyone is experiencing any symptoms, feel free to reach out to me, share your story. I like to read messages. I like to answer questions. I have no problem doing any of those things. I love you guys, and I'll see you next time.